it's Andrea over at Sewspire.com, and I have been waiting to make this bag for so long. It feels like years. I'm going to show you today how to make this awesome wax canvas messenger tote. I absolutely love this canvas. It is from Big Duck Canvas, and you can see here how it offers me like that vintage look. But what's so cool about the wax canvas is as you use that and handle it, it gets more of that distressed look, which I absolutely love. And when you pair that real rugged distressed look with a gorgeous floral, just in my mind, that is perfection. So I am very excited to show you how to work with this canvas. I got mine in the nutmeg color from Big Duck Canvas. I have a link in the description for you. You can check out their other colors. I do have my eye on the olive green too, so you may soon see something crafted from that. But I'm very excited to show you how to make this. So shall we get started? Okay, to begin, we're going to craft the exterior flap closure. That is crafted from one piece of wax canvas that's 13 inches wide by 12 inches tall and a like size piece of quilt weight cotton. And you just position the cotton right side facing with the wax canvas, which has no right or wrong side, and then fold that in half so that you can angle those corners. This is 6.5 by 12, and then just angle those bottom right hand corners, and you can round those or leave it more of a sharp angle like I have, whatever you prefer. Then you're going to stitch down the sides across the angle and across the bottom of that flap. Leave the top open so we can flip it. Okay, I've made it around those sides, and I'm just going to turn this right side out. As you work with and handle the wax canvas, it's going to start to get some lines and kind of vintage charm about it. That's why I love it so much, and you can see how that is taking place here the more I work with it. I'm going to go ahead and let mine age through wear and tear, but if you wanted right now, you could just crumple this up into a ball and get a lot of those lines in it. Now, you do not iron the wax canvas, so you just poke out those corners and then flatten that out and go ahead and top stitch all the way around. Okay, I've top stitched that. Now I want to install 2 snaps about 1 inch in and at the center point of the angles which I made. I have those here, and I just install my snaps with a small hammer, and I work right on my tabletop there. You just poke through those prongs, and then I work with the female portion of the snap first, and then you're just going to put in that male portion. The remaining prong is going to be attached to that exterior front flap, so save that. Then go ahead and attach the other 3 components of the snap on that angle. You want to make sure that you're getting them aligned so they look good. Then I have 3 parts attached to the flap for each snap, and then I have my remaining 2 prongs which I will attach to that exterior panel, which we're going to work on now. So the exterior body is crafted from a 15 inch by 15 inch square. That's the front and the back. And then for the exterior pockets, you're going to have an 18 inch by 15 inch rectangle, which you will fold in half to create 15 by 9. And then take that top edge and fold that over 3/4 of an inch to create a nice lip there, and stitch down that lip. You're going to repeat this process twice because you have a front and a rear pocket. Okay, I have stitched along that top edge of the pocket to create that lip. Then I want to align the raw edges of the pocket with the base of that 15 by 15 inch panel. This particular pocket is going to be divided in half and it goes along the front of the bag. So I'm just going to fold that pocket in half. It'll create that clear line. I'm going to grab some pins and pin that pocket in place and then stitch right down that center line. Then I'm going to bring back over that flap closure and I want the edge of that to fall right at the edge of that pocket lip, and then it should be centered on that panel. So you want to get that all positioned, and then you're going to turn that over and on the back side attach those prongs so that the snap will hold the flap closed. So you just flip that all over, grab your remaining two prongs, and you should be able to flip up the side and look to see how to install that. You just poke those prongs through and then make sure they're sitting nice in that channel, and then hammer those. And you repeat the same process on the other side. And then your flap should be able to be attached to that. You do not need to leave it attached while we finish constructing the bag, but it is much easier to install those snaps before we move on. So set your flap aside and set this front panel with the snaps aside. Then we're going to take the second pocket that you just created with the top stitching and the rear body panel. You're going to line that in the same way. If you like, you can go ahead and divide this pocket. I want mine to be completely open, a long wide pocket, so I am not going to divide it. I'm just going to put a couple pins in that to hold that in place. And then I'm going to set that aside, and we're going to work on the side pockets, which are 6 inches wide by 18 inches tall. You'll have two of those. You'll fold those in half to create a 9 by 6 inch piece. Fold that top lip over 3/4 of an inch and stitch that down. You'll create two side pockets. And then you have 3 panels which measure 6 by 15. 2 are for your side panels, 1 is for your base. So let's take the 2 side panels and position the side pockets with the raw edges towards the bottom, and you just put a pin in the center of either of those to hold it in place. And then we're going to use the Sewspire T method to construct the exterior of this bag. So I will bring back the rear panel that's full length, and I want to align the top edges of the pocket. So it's perfectly okay if the top edge of the panels are not aligned. What you want are those pocket edges to be aligned. And go ahead and pin those in place. And then you will stitch down either side to secure those panels. Okay, now the side panels are attached, and I want to work with the base panel and the front panel with these snaps, and I'm going to attach that base by aligning the long edge of the base panel with the bottom raw pocket edge. Stitch all the way across that. I am using 5/8 of an inch seam allowance. Open that up, bring back that side panel, and take that panel with the base on it and lay it right sides facing, aligning the other long edge of the base with the edge of your front pocket panel, and you're going to stitch seam to seam or finger to finger. And this is why I call it the T method, because when you open this up, it looks like a giant T. Okay, so you're going to take the sides of the rear panel now and align those with the sides of that front panel with the snaps on them. And you want to first give priority to the top edge of the pocket. Once you have that aligned, go ahead and put a pin in that to hold it. Even if your top edges of your panels aren't aligned, that is perfectly fine. Just worry about aligning those pockets. And then you will go ahead and stitch those sides to attach all of those layers, and you're just going to stitch from the top to that bottom seam on both sides. Now my exterior is almost complete. The only thing I have left to do is close up these holes on the base here by attaching the base of the side panel to the side of the base panel, and I'm just going to stitch seam to seam or finger to finger, and then the exterior will be complete. And now you should really see your bag taking shape. So you just want to turn this exterior right side out, and as you do this, this canvas is going to take on that vintage weathered charm, which is the reason I selected this material. So just poke out those base corners. Okay, and now the exterior is done. What you want to do next is fold that top edge inward approximately an inch. This canvas presses beautifully. You shouldn't need any pins to hold that. You just run your finger right along that top edge and it is in place. Okay, now the interior of this bag is crafted in the exact same way. The only exception is you omit the snaps, okay? You also have the ability to divide the pockets any way you like for the interior. So I have pre-crafted my interior. I did go with a quilt weight cotton fabric because I don't want this bag to be too heavy, and also too, it will save a little bit of money if you go with a less expensive cotton for the interior. So to align the interior and the exterior, you're going to want to begin with those side seams. And once you get that in place, put a pin in there to hold that and move to the other side. And then you can go ahead and make your way all the way around and secure those two layers. Okay, I've got that interior securely pinned in place. I love the contrast between this vintage wax canvas and that beautiful cotton floral. It's absolutely a showstopper. Bring back over your flap and snap that in place on the front. And then go ahead and flip your bag over to the back. And you're going to tuck that flap in between the exterior and interior. And you don't want to tuck that all the way down in there. You just want to tuck that in approximately 1.5 inches, because your flap's going to have to have some give there as you fill up your bag. And then go ahead and pin that flap to both the interior and the exterior so that does not shift. At some point you will have to unsnap it to get pins there in the center. Alright, this is a really amazing, super stable bag with so much structure. It's probably going to last me the rest of my life. I am so thrilled with this canvas. The last thing for us to do is craft the strap and then attach that and stitch all the way around the top of that bag, and it will be completely finished. So to craft the strap, I'm using the wax canvas as well, 8 inches by 36 inches. Fold that in half. You don't press it at the iron, but just with your hand, open that up, bring those edges inward to meet on that center line. If you wanted to add a little quilt weight cotton batting in there, you could do that. I am not adding any batting from my strap. Then I'm just gonna fold that edge over. I'm gonna stitch down both edges to create that strap, and I am going to add a second row of stitching for detail. So in total, I'll have 4 rows of stitching on the strap. Okay, I have stitched that handle, and as you can see, I added 2 rows of stitching on either side. And then I tuck that about 1.5 inches in between that exterior layer and the interior layer, centered on the side panel. And that's the case on both sides. This strap is long enough for me to wear crossbody or over the shoulder without it hanging too low. If you like extra wiggle room when you wear your bag crossbody, extend that handle drop to 40, anywhere from 40 to 44 inches. But do note, if you extend the length of the handle to that distance, that then when you carry the bag on your shoulder, it's going to hang very low. So in my opinion, the 8 by 36 inches is ideal length for the crossbody strap, but you obviously want to make your bag so it's comfortable for you. So the very last step is remove your machine deck and fit this bag up on there. When I'm working with bags that have flaps, I start at that back side seam and secure the flap first, just simply so it does not shift as it moves under that machine, okay? So start there, secure the flap, and continue all the way around. Then I'm going to put it back up there and reinforce those handles 1, maybe 2 more times so it can carry extra heavy loads. And then I'll be back to show you what it looks like finished. All right, I made it all the way around. I absolutely am in love with this bag. I feel like I have been envisioning this bag for years, and it is finally here, and I am so excited to use this bag. This is going to be my go-to bag for many, many years. So the front here, you have the flap closure, the 2 deep front pockets. Then across the back, you got that wide exterior pocket that's perfect for files and magazines and things like that. Got a nice, thick, comfy strap. This is going to sit beautifully on the shoulder. This will not slip like the cotton fabric does. Plus, you've got 2 nice exterior pockets, perfect for the phone. A water bottle will fit in there. And then inside, I have this amazing pop of color. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more pockets because I divided that rear pocket in thirds. I absolutely, positively love this bag. Thank you so much for sewing with me. I want to offer up one more big thanks to the folks over at Big Duck Canvas for helping me find the perfect fabric for this bag. I am so grateful for their assistance. They were very accommodating. I hope you'll check out their other offerings. I have a link in the description for you that you can just click right on through. This wax canvas does come in other colors. I personally chose the nutmeg. I feel like it's going to be a really versatile color for me that will carry me through all of the seasons. But my second pick would have been the olive green. So you may here in short order see me working with that olive green wax canvas because I am hooked. This was a lot of fun. So I will be back next week with another inspired sewing project. Until then, please know the creative genius in me will be celebrating the creative genius in you. Have a beautiful week, everyone.